Hello guys, what's up? I'm fine, thank you for asking. How are you guys today? Hello from Spain, what's up? Must be nice in Spain today. You have a very good weather there, I believe. Okay, so I told you we will start with the Ethereum Bitcoin. Very simple analysis. I started a new chart for you to see exactly what I'm looking at right now. There's a key level right here, which is holding the currently the price higher. We are in a Wyckoff accumulation right now, likely an M1. I mean M2. Let me copy it once I find it. It's here. So we had a ST B phase. Right now we are in a, let me just mark it here, at ASC here, and right now we are in LPS. Why can't I grab it? Okay. So very likely we are in LPS right now and could be around this area. And as long as we hold this support, we are pretty much quietly breaking to the upside. Some sort of announcement from system. Okay. As long as we pretty much hold this level and break out, Ethereum should outperform, and at the same time, let me see. We are at key levels. We tapped a demand level on Bitcoin yesterday around here, which was a 1 hour zone. I have it marked on my other chart here. There was this dotted price area, pretty much. Right now we need to break out above this VVG, and then we would continue. If not, then this is a confirmed bullish, bearish free tap, and we would see lower prices. So basically waiting for the price to break above this to sweep the previous free tap. But we could go all the way up to 90k at this current point with a strong resistance around 78k. In case we reject here, you would see a 59k being swept as well for some quick bounce. But everything should align with the monthly closure being bullish, because we need the Bitcoin. Let me go here. We need the Bitcoin logarithmic chart to actually be bullish. It can't close below this level, otherwise it would invalidate any bullish long-term ideas on log charts, and algos would pretty much break down. Let me quickly read, guys, what you're writing. Okay, there's not much in the chat. It's nice for now, so we can focus on the charts. So what do we want to see right now is a strong reaction of this zone, and preferably a bullish continuation. And of course we have a, okay, we can remove this as it's bothering us for a bit. We also have DPO3 that we had marked previously on the Ethereum Bitcoin, which is now loading. To the expansion, we have a week low, week high up here that should be swept soon. But for the confirmation, you need to take over this level and close above for confluence for more longs. I will delete this as I have it on the other charts, so we will just keep these strong levels. The Ethereum Bitcoin is also holding a very important level, which is 0.88, and kinda just vibing around this area. Bitcoin is trying to move up today, but remember it's Monday. But yeah, still holding the range lows, which is good. And from the perspective of strong zones, we can check some key levels if there are any. Yeah, there's only the 70k right now level, which we should pay attention to. Meanwhile, Ethereum is actually trying to break out of this strong level, which was a previously sweep of the Wyckoff on lower time frame, and also a retap that we had here, and a PVG fill, which we can mark here. And this is your strong zone right now, which we are above. So if we can close above this, then we would likely see some sort of retest and then continuation to the upside. You can see how it's pretty much respecting the how the price is respecting these levels, and now breaking above. Bitcoin can push, it would be good. If Ethereum Bitcoin loses this level, we will likely see one more low, and the model number 1 would play out, which would be a spring below this, somewhere below this level, below this one. Spring. Can mark it like this. This is all part of pre-planning, so you kinda need to understand what can happen. It's good to just kinda chart. Always have some sort of plan. Could see there was a liquidity curve, but it swept the demand level, still holding. So for now, this is a strong zone, but in case we dump, you have a plan for this, and this should happen before the March closes. So we have a March bullish candle close, and in April we should be fine as well. On the other hand, I expect stocks to crash a lot in April. Mostly because of the capital rotating, and the monthly is looking very, very bad. You have all the continuations, as you know, on the VIX. I can grab it. Okay. And on top of that, we have a lot of unfilled candles here, and compared to the... Wait, I need to kind of fix this. So for now, this is very weak. I'll show you again on the Tesla stocks, for Tesla stock, for example, where we are waiting for the dump towards the 320 and 200, and it already lost the key level, so very likely some nuke coming soon. So yeah, I would completely avoid stocks right now or buying any new positions. I think we are going to dump much lower on them. Let me check. What key levels do you see on Ethereum Bitcoin if it breaks resistance? Basically the one that we would be targeting for now is this high, and potentially could be, let's go on lower areas. Definitely would be around here, as there was a LTF retap for sure. We can check it real quick. if it was swept or not. No, there was no sweep of that level, so definitely let's copy it real quick so you can see it on the chart. Definitely this level 0.037 pretty much. We can put a magnet over here. So despite of what you do in here, doesn't matter, this should act as a magnet and we should be coming to that level very soon. On top of that, we had a weekly level here and it's still trading inside of that area, so you can try to refine it. If there's anything... I think I showed this level many times previously on streams, but it's always good to come back to them. I can mark this one, but only as a future reference if it's there, but the main zone should be around here. We can slightly align it for the... Okay. So yeah, this is the key zone basically that's holding the price right now, which you see here. We might fill this gap still today, but I would remain bullish on Ethereum for sure. There's a lot of unfilled levels and we are building some sort of liquidity curve, and yeah. If we go to true price of the Ethereum and Bitcoin, this is not the true price, we want this chart. This zone, this little one, is what you should pay attention to on lower time frame. And if we hold it close above, and if we get a chance of a retest, I would be looking to build some positions here again. But in case of a dump, you would be looking for a sweep of this level, which on the normal price should be around this price. You can check it too. This is where I would be waiting for the buys around around the price I told you about, which is 1650. Around that price is where I would be buying in case we have a further dump below, but yeah, I think it will catch many people off guard right now, and we actually might not fill that area and pump from here, since many people are actually waiting for lower prices and the sentiment is not getting bullish at all lately, even though we don't really have as bad looking market compared to these stocks, and the extreme fear is still very much here. And if you think about it as well, many people are scared of the war, and right now many are looking into stocks and selling them. With that, I think they will mostly rotate their riskier assets like crypto into some safer options like bonds or something like that, but yeah, or gold, commodities. But the problem with this is that the gold basically pumped a lot, right? So I think we are very close to some big sell-offs on the commodities, or not far, like it doesn't have to be immediate, but I think it will happen this year. And I think if people see that there's a war, we will very likely rotate. They will very likely rotate to gold because it's safe haven, right? So people think gold is still something that they can't lose value on. But after such pump, they will be... I mean, people that don't understand the market, they will buy gold because it's known to be safe haven, right? So, but that does not equal safety, because you pumped in last 2 years on gold 230%, which is incredible. And we never reached some sort of discount price. We are trading in the premium. There's nothing bullish, in my opinion, on gold for long term, and it smells like a trap for wars right now. Bitcoin is trying a lot to break out. Should actually add volume to see. That's not what I wanted. Okay, we can't add volume or what? Okay. Guess we need a different chart for Bitcoin. Yeah, if we can break above this and close strongly above that, I would be careful. Especially if the 1 hour can't push to the upside. If it only wicks and closes like that, I would be careful about the position. So we want to see closure above the 69,264 and ideally a strong one. On LTF on Ethereum bearish free tap. Let me check. Lower time frame. Yeah, I think I know which one you mean. There was a bearish free tap over here. In case you mean lower time frame, we can check it. We are talking like 5 minutes or so, but don't see any. Why see a possible liquidity curve building around here? But yeah, we are trading in the PVG still. So would be careful to see, but yeah, this is definitely a bearish free tap. It's just a question if we will fill the previous free tap up here on Bitcoin or not. But for those that watch the recreational videos in VIP, you know that we also have a plan for double free taps if there are two. And you should know that this is more likely to happen. If it does this and we miss this opportunity, it doesn't really matter. These are the perfect scenarios for possible reactions. It's interesting to see how the market is reacting right now and the Ethereum Bitcoin, since we broke out of this weird ass structure. And depends if this is going to be some sort of retest for retail traders or something like that. But as long as we hold this strong level, it should run towards these highs. If not, then we will see the spring and then up. But in both scenarios, I think it's going to be soon over for the Bitcoin being stronger than Ethereum. You can check some coins like Tau. Let's go daily. I need the zones for here. There's a strong level here, which we can try to again reduce. Lower time frame looking. Oh. This is a weak high. It's not only future bug, it shouldn't be. You see how there's a lot of liquidity piling up above this level. There's no closure above that. So for now, Tau should kind of run higher. And there was a free tap recently on the lower time frame too. So yeah, it makes sense to have a bullish strength on the Tau right now. Will likely pump towards these, somewhere towards these prices. And definitely will get a closure above 202. So this is the place where algos will trigger. They will trigger their buy order stops, or there will be waiting limits as well. Buy order limits or buy stop limits, that's what I meant. Is there any bearish thing right now? I mean, it looks very similar to the Ethereum Bitcoin chart on higher time frame, but with slightly different story, as it's completely different time. But you had a zone here which you can refine to fit for the unfilled price, which was here. I refined it the way that this zone was what it was holding, and of this wick you kind of lowered, so you can mark it like this until you see it. Two zones and lowered on this one because this is where it kind of stopped, so there's no power below that. This is looking fine for now. I believe it also held some crucial fips. Yeah, 0.75. Let's check how the US 500 against total free is looking. We'll go on this one for this chart. So yeah, it's trying to break out. We need a very quick dump. We don't want a... we don't want the price to settle around this area. Let's use a different tool around this area, because it could create a PO3 and we might pump against stocks, which is not something we would like to see. So ideally we want to see a very strong dump towards these levels and a strong closure, so that alts can run. Yeah, S&P against Nasdaq is doing exactly what we expected. Made the bearish free tap and started dumping. We can also try to redo it so we see what people are going to look at right now, and this is some sort of channel, or this is basically what the retail is watching right now, and this is how the free tap can be also useful. You have a initial zone. Let's put it back. It was not perfect, because if we extended this, you would see that we would be looking like this, you see. But if you fix it later on, you can find the perfect setups for the channels. And yeah, this is how you find the traps that the system is building, how the algos are working pretty much. Because this is what the people are looking at right now. You see how nicely it is respecting some of these levels. here, 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 here. So this is how they find them. So sometimes these slow downtrends, you can use them as a target area. But it's not going to work all the time. There's different tools and better things how to target the zones actually. Which is like the ranges that I was talking about many times. For this particular reason, we could be looking into a range around this area, likely. Let's see if the top fits somewhere. No, not really. But if there was a range that would be confirmed, you would see some respect around these prices at the middle, and then the target would be the bottom and the top. Both need to be swept in that case, but it is not a valid range in here. Let's check how the Bitcoin is developing. Okay, nice. I think we are above the zone. We can close there, would be nice. We have about 15 minutes left. Good afternoon, what's up? Hello. XRP in a bearish retap. Let me check. I would like to know the time frame you guys are looking at. There is a lot of liquidity sitting below this level. This is a very weird range. Or like not weird, but didn't see ranges like these for a while. But yeah, seems like it is in the bearish retap. Very nice find. So I would like to see the sweep of these highs though. Is it equal? No, it's not. The problem with this chart is that we are not really having some obvious liquidity curves. Maybe one is here, but it would be a very sharp one. In this sharp ones, you would usually see a quick bounce higher first. But for that case, I don't really like to use the very sharp ones because you can't tell how far it will go, so it's better to wait for the free taps. But yeah, good find. Definitely some sort of bearish free tap, possibly even bigger one. There can be one developing right now on a higher time frame as well, which could be. Let me do it with this, for example. So yeah, what could find? Actually, what could happen here is we do some sort of M-looking structure, even on lower time frame, and then we will sweep the lows. That is very, very possible. This is why it's good to have more people learning pre-tap, because I just can't go through all the charts, all the time frames alone. And this is exactly how you can find good setups. So we'll set an alert on this price, on this level, and then we will look for possible shorts if it develops some sort of structure, and you would be having that in the group. I mean, if you find some sort of setups like these and they are called, I will obviously send them in the free groups, since that's not my find and you guys also are working on it. But yeah, if you are learning free tap, let me know, because I'm more than looking forward to answer your questions, guys, if you are learning them. USDT is dumping below the key level, which is good. We had a strong zone here. And again, you can see how nicely it is pretty much rejecting the levels all the time. And it's kind of fighting around that level. There was the bullish free tap we were looking at previously. It was on daily or 12-hour, I think. We also were looking into it last stream, and I warned you about possible push to the upside, which happened. This is a possible area for another touch there, but for now, if it can go lower, then it would be good and would be invalidated for the further jump higher. You can try to refine these levels if there's something more interesting on them. I also need to mark this candle, but with a different color. Use this. I'll use a different color because that's a different strategy kinda, but also very important candle. Yeah, and do you see how perfectly it tested that? Rejected, tested, tested, tested. The first candle that actually closed inside of that zone was here. All of these either wicked it or went fully through. That's how you know the zone is valid. See, there's not a single one that would be doing that, so this would have been a confluence for more longs. And I think this is where the Bitcoin actually taps the demand zone, somewhere around here. Must have been around here once we did this push. And then since that you could have been long, yeah. Okay, we are back below the zone, so that's not good. Not optimal right now. There's some sort of level we should be scared about on USDT. There's no UNFs. There's a UNF here. Is it? Yeah. I see. So there's a LTF bullish free tap on the USDT dominance. How's the fib looking for that? I don't have the fib setting for 0. Okay. Oh, I do. I see it here. So I need to turn it like this. Okay. Oh no. Okay, so key levels are here. You have some sort of liquidity curve here too, on smaller time frame. Can check if there's anything that interesting. We'll delete it so we can readjust it. Clicked wrongly. And see how far it went. Okay, so around here. What's the... Okay. Marking this too. Might give some small reaction here. Is it looking on hourly? Okay. So not going to be as important. Can move over that. But can give some sort of small range on LTF right now. Actually very likely that I'm considering that we are above the VVG zone. So USDT will likely give you some sort of small range here right now for 1 hour or 2 at least. Where are you looking for a short on Bitcoin? Currently, I'm not really looking into shorts at current price. I would rather see a this area being filled first, or ideally the 74k. But if hourly closes below, we might get some scalps later on, but there's no setups right now on the LTF, so I would need more confluence for the short. This is not something I would be shorting right now. There's no structure. There's no liquidity curve. There's barely anything for now. All we have is a bearish free tap, but the free taps itself, they don't give you enough confluence for the trades to be taken. There's more that you need to look at. And right now, it's rather more possible that we will go towards this market like this. This is potential, this is more likely. And then we will see what happens around this area. Because if this zone is lost, or regained, not lost, then we will likely see a push higher again. But it should give you a reaction here. And also, you will have some sort of liquidity curve here too. On the LTF, which kind of gives you confluence for the higher prices for now. Do you trade liquidity sweeps on alts, weekly, monthly, SFP? I did previously, but I like free taps more. Do you see 70k as a rejection point? Likely not. 70k gave us a lot of previous struggles, and this is what I feel like many people are watching right now. I do have it marked as a zone, but in the projection you can see that we will likely see some sort of small reaction in case this is regained. Very likely we could do some sort of ping pong between these zones for a while and then go higher. That would be optimal because lots of shorts will come around this price, as this is a retail resistance pretty much. And many people are definitely watching this level right now. As you can see, we do this. I'll make it very bright right now so you can see. See how it's kinda, everyone is definitely watching around these prices right now. It might give you some small reaction, but I wouldn't be that scared at this moment. Still waiting for the hourly close. Still trying to defend that level. But the LTF is just not looking good enough for me to short it. And I don't mind if I miss this. Ethereum dominance, let's check if there's anything new. It's pretty much the same chart as Ethereum Bitcoin. But yeah. So holding this level, which is good. Oh, we can hide the volume, I don't need that for now. Actually. But yeah, we have a lot of volume right now, which is decent. Also, guys, like my confluence for the alts is that we have hit a zone here previously. This big zone on daily, and in April 25, I mean 2025, we made a wick but never tapped that zone. And on this dump on 6th February, we actually filled that zone and swept the previous wick. On top of that, you have a higher time frame free tab here, which just adds me more confidence that we are going to run. Technically speaking, we could be also looking into this whole range and this taking as a trap. Anything below this low could be taken as a manipulation downside for the levels to be swept, and then upside potential. The thing about altcoins is that we have been basically in a bear market for like more than a year right now. Perfect example is the others chart, where you have been basically going down since December 24, while the total was doing exactly the opposite pretty much. It made new high, and from that was 16% pump on total and more than 16% as well since that time. So holders and overall altcoins were struggling way too much against the Bitcoin, and my guess is that we will soon see surge on them. And notice, guys, that usually when stuff like look at this liquidity curve on the weekly other seconds Bitcoin. What I wanted to say right now is that notice how you will see many times some stuff that people say like a hated rally, or what can we say, super cycle, alt season, and all of these usually come, but at the moment, or like not super cycle, that's a word basically that is not this one, but each time that people stop mentioning them and you barely see them, everyone is focusing on the other ones. This is where they run. But when you see people talking about hated rally or alt season, that is usually when we dump. And super cycle too. If people start saying that we are in super cycle, you are pretty much at the top. But what I meant by that is that right now I'm not seeing anyone speaking about the hated rally or nor alt season. And in my opinion, if they wanted to play it right, the accumulation time for alts would be perfect right now, because it's the asset that no one is looking at. People started selling Bitcoin, they're still scared. And if they are rotating their assets into this one, it's good for long term maybe. But in my opinion, like what you should focus on right now, it's definitely alts. Especially when we look into the market cap, logarithmic market cap trends and these. For example, XRP is having one of the best looking monthly candles on log charts with the SFP that people were talking about previously too. What win rate do you get with free tap strategy? I mean, most of them work. When I was... I will give you a different answer because I have various results since my strategy on it kind of changed. But when I was trading just purely the free tap, it was somewhere around 79 to 78%. But since we changed some stuff, it's more than 84% right now. But also depends how much you're looking to put as a stop loss and how is your entry model for these, because it varies a lot. But yeah, it's actually pretty high. And it's quite simple. Why is that the reason? It's just free tap itself is the counter to most common strategies. What does free tap do is it counters every single strategy that is written in books or anything you find in the YouTube videos that when you start typing basic trading strategy or basics to trading or anything like that. I'm not gonna say more because it could unreveal more than I want right now. But if you remember what I just said and look into the charts, I think you will figure out soon what is meant by that. Yeah, Howley closed pretty badly. Need to mark this then. Might actually enter some shorts soon if we don't get a better price action. But there's nothing is really looking like that we would want to trade it. Let me see if I can find some sort of range. Okay. Okay, this is a confirmed range. Is there anything about these 69,600 that we need to pay attention to? Let's go on lower time frame and see how the VVG is looking here. It was a straight candle down. It was a weird candle. Was it Friday? Yeah, it was after the NFP, okay. Okay, so that changes a bunch of things. Solely because it was the NFP candle. What was this kind of level? To respect the whole NFP. Yeah, it even absorbed the buys here. What kind of candle is this? Oh, it's the 50-minute candle that was holding the whole price action down previously. And NFP also respected that, so we absorbed a lot of buys there. So very likely this is where the liquidity sits right now. So yeah, I think we are going to go higher soon. And it kind of aligns with exactly aligns with the projection we have. What is possible here also, if this is a CRT and this was valid, this would play out and it would play out like this very likely. Basically the both models projections together. So this and this. Because if this is the CRT, your target is here and here. 50% was already swept, so you would come back to the lower levels. But there is a danger, then we have the bearish free tap as well. So this would act as a support. You also have the low here that needs to be swept as a target. But then you would need to look around these prices to see if this fails. And if it closes below, you would see lower prices. So right now the main levels are this one as a potential bounce area if it dumps right now, and also this hourly candle. If we close above this zone on hourly, you would invalidate this idea and you would go higher. The main thing right now is to just close above that VVG and fully dump it, or fully recover, don't dump it. Was it 50% filled? Yeah, it was perfect fill of that VVG. Usually when you have a VVG, fair value gap, you will notice that if there's some sort of VVG, then usually the 50% of that. Okay, I need to make this less visible. 50% of that is the furthest the VVG can react. If it goes higher, then it's very likely not to hold. The only time where it will hold on lower time frame is if there is, let's say this is hourly VVG. So on our VVG, and then you have you can refine the VVG on lower time frame. So let's say it would look like this. Then your 50% would move slightly higher, and you should put the 50% to see here, right? And this would be the furthest it can react. And you can continue doing that until you are at the lower time frame. So you could basically delete the hourly one if you know it's going to reach the 15-minute one, and then wait for the reaction of the 50% the furthest. Because if it will go above, then it's not going to hold and it will go higher. But yeah, we are turning bearish on the 15-minute right now. I just can't trade this. There's nothing that I would like. We have the range perfectly tapped the 50%, but there's no entry model that I would like to see. Maybe if we go on 15 second, but that would be a little too much. You can try to go on a different one, some futures, so it has more wicks, and we can see what was happening in the volatile areas. Don't really see anything. I mean, 15 second. There may have been some sort of free tap here, but like it's 15 second and that's a little too low for us to trade. You don't want to, when you are refining, you don't want to over refine. Because if, let's say you are looking into 4-hour zone and you end up going into 1 hour, or you end up into going 15 minute, 5 minute, and like that, and you end up on the 1 minute chart. It's possible in sometimes, but imagine the difference you have. So you basically have 240 minutes and you're looking into 1 minute zone and you're trying to enter all of that on lower time frame. Yes, you can do it. You can refine more, but you should not refine the zones that are like... What I'm talking about right now is you have a 4-hour zone and you can refine it into a, let's say, like 1 minute zone on LTF. Because there will be more of them and it could look like, let's say, let's do it like this. So in terms, if it was some sort of bearish price action, we would have some candles like, I don't know. Okay, and you're looking into this whole section as a 4-hour candle and you're trying to find 1 minute zones, which is just... You can find the perfect entry, but it will be hard and it will not work all the time. And it's safer to just trade, let's say, refining 4-hour into 15 minute. That's the furthest I would go in that case. What I was sticking to when I was not teaching this back then is going down 2 times the most usual time frames. So the furthest for refining. So if I was trading and was trying to refine my zones, I would be only going down to the furthest, not further. So if you spot a zone on daily, Then furthest you go is 1 hour. Spot on 15 minute, you go on 1 minute. But if you spot on daily, you never go to 5 minutes. That's how I was doing all the refining. Because if you over refine, you will get lost in the process and it will fuck you up very quickly. Let's try to use this without the wicks. Maybe we can find some sort of zone. This could be possibly loading for some liquidity, but it's too sharp right now. But considering we have the free tap, possibly yeah. But unluckily no entry that we would like to look at. There is VVGs. VVGs, not VVGs, UNFs. So I mean the confluences are there for, this is not a UNF, it has slight wick, but small one. This is a UNF. I know the wick is not as visible, but there is a small tip how you can analyze these quickly. If you just hover over it and you have the magnet tool up, then you would see the price change slightly. So in this case, you see it changed by $2. So at the right of the screen, right here, you can see how it's slightly changing the value. But in here, I hover over it and it's not changing. That's how I quickly find the VVGs if I don't see the wick. Or not VVGs, sorry, UNFs. I'm kind of lost in the names right now. I mean, yeah, USDT is also looking bullish right now. And we have the bullish UNF. If it closes bullish, and we feel some sort of lower level, then we could potentially short, but I don't like it. I don't like this setup. I think it can still go higher. There's not enough confluences for us to take the trade. Let's go for something else. I think today is kind of good for you guys to see how I kind of think about the trades. Okay, we have a bearish free tap here on Litecoin too. This could already be it. Can go on 15 minutes and try to put it as high as we can. Yeah, this could have been it. It's potentially a free tap, not free tap, liquidity curve loading here too. Do we have some sort of range? Potentially, yeah. It's too far, no. Then we don't have a confirmed range. Unless it's a small one. What's the 15 minute looking like? It got respected, closed below. One sec. There was no free tap here, but on 15 minute it has wicks. We are potentially in 2 double taps right now. And what could happen is a dump lower here, close below this level, and then higher again, in case we dump. This could be it for the sweep of the bearish free tap. This is a lower time frame one, so we can... Oh, this is not what I wanted to do. I wanted to do this. Sometimes mark it like this, so I know that this is the higher time frame one and this is the lower time frame one. And we want to set a alert on this possible price. And we can try to look for some short entries if there's anything. There is potentially free tap on 1 minute loading too. Only going to make it like this. Also need to use these zones as it is very low time frame. How's the fib looking here? If I was looking to short, I would be looking into this area around 54.34. Could give us some reaction of this small trend line to the upside and then potentially new clover. Because since we were here, if someone is shorting, there was nothing that would swap these highs. Imagine the market as on lower time frame as the people that are watching the chart. So if everyone is shorting here, they are already in the profit and there was no sweep. So there's definitely a lot of orders right now piling up. And we could see some potential reaction of this level to this and then nuke or even sweep of this high. If not, and if it dumps, which sometimes it does, we just ignore the trade and wait for the lower prices to be reached. And that is where you can buy again. But on 1 hour after we moved the 15-minute higher, it never closed above. So there's your risk of the price being still unswept. And the market could potentially still sweep the high and close above here. Because on 15-minute, yes, we swept it. But then this price might not hold because 1 hour was not swept yet or never closed above that. Let's see if it's reacting. Yeah. So if this low will not be taken out, it can bounce here higher, and then this is where you want to look for shorts around this price or the high. I teach the free tap inside of the VIP, but I will only tell you that it is the core it's the core counter trends to or counter trades to the uptrends, downtrends, and support resistance. That is all I think I would like to tell about free tap to public right now. I think it's you can learn from the setups if you copy them. I think you will understand very quickly how it works. But for now, I kind of want to focus just on the people that are inside of it. But I will share you guys one of the videos that we have on the liquidity curves. Promise to something. So yeah. Watch this. I will also forward it to the group later on. But this is one of the concepts that is the liquidity curves, one of the easiest ones, which can help you determine the bias and how to use them. I hope it's not the video where I was slightly chaotically talking about it, because I was re-recording for like 4 times without a proper scenario or like proper plan on what to talk about, since the liquidity curves are quite a big topic. It's easy to understand, but there's so much you can talk about it, or so much that you can say about it. Guys, I think I will end the stream in about 8 minutes since I have to go somewhere. But we can watch some charts that you suggest or something that we went through today to kind of see the reactions. Let's see if the USDT, yeah, it closed below. Interesting. USDT dominance looks bullish, but Bitcoin, did it sweep the low or not? It also looks bullish for now and didn't sweep the high, so there's a weird gap right now between these two. Oh, it's because of the Ethereum Bitcoin. So Ethereum is stronger right now, this last couple hour and 15 minutes. That's good actually. You can see how this high was not swept on Bitcoin, but on USDT dominance the low was swept and started pumping. But Bitcoin is kinda struggling to get higher, while Ethereum is pushing. So it's regaining its strength on the Ethereum Bitcoin chart for now. Slightly, but regaining. And the chart is holding to the key zone we had marked. Didn't close below. The 1 hour looks pretty good. It's one of these models too, or models, 3 candles, which are often a reversal candles, and especially when they are tapping some sort of important level too, which is the current zone that we have on the 4 hour refined. So this is a pretty good thing for now. Now that I'm looking into it, there might be a very hidden free tap here. Bullish free tap on Ethereum Bitcoin. It's very, very hidden, but this is the sweep basically. It's between the 1 hour and 15 minute and 30 minute has it, so this is potentially the sweep, and it's a front run of the retest of this trend line that people were watching. So probably many people were watching for a retest around here too long, but if Ethereum can hold this and push higher, then they will not be filled, and we would see Ethereum outperforming Bitcoin more, with potentially a push to the higher prices. And if this is truly the LPS, then we will see quite a violent move right now on Ethereum Bitcoin to the upside. Because after the LPS is finished, then you usually have a quite strong reaction to the upside. And if you kinda copy it, then if you look at this, let me just go on lower time frame slightly a bit. So we are potentially from here, and then you have like the descending price action. And right now we could be possibly here or already here. But yeah, I think after it happens, we get a nice push around here and then upside. And once we do, we get the run towards the highs. Is there anything important on the lower time frame? Was this level? I mean, basically, this candle is still unswept. The high of 74k is unswept and should act as a magnet as well. This was the manipulation candle I was talking about when we were trying to catch the short from here, but it swept the low of that price action first, and right now it should run towards the unswept area. Okay guys, but this will be it for today, and I'll see you next time. So thank you so much for coming, and I think we will see each other in a couple days again. Maybe on Wednesday or Thursday. I'm not sure yet, but we'll let you know. So yeah, thank you so much and bye bye.